Who is Chef Shane? So I'm 36 years old, born and raised here in Florida, and I haven't lived anywhere else except for a small time I lived in Alabama. But because my roots are here in Florida, I grew up a little bit close to the water, so lots of fishing and surfing, diving, that sort of thing. Huge seafood influence on my life. And I don't know, I've always worked in restaurants. So since I was 14 years old, this is what I've done. This is what I love. I love the restaurant industry. I love the camaraderie. I love the sense of family that we all have here. And at a young age, I realized the acceptance. No matter what, you were okay. If you could cook and you can hold your own on the line, then you were accepted into this family. And I always thought that was cool, really, really cool. So I grew up in the industry. This is really what I was put here to do, and I'm very thankful that I'm able to do it here and on this scale, in this many restaurants and this many people across the country, eating food that I've helped create every single day. So some of my earliest childhood memories with food definitely have to be like my grandmother's house. So my mom, single mom, I have a brother who's 18 months younger, and we were always doing something. We were playing sports, we were doing lots of things. There wasn't a lot of family meals cooked at home, but knowing that we were always going to go to my grandmother's either on the weekend or she would come babysit for us or something like that. She was always cooking, and I think that's really where I got my first love of food and understanding of food brings smiles to people's faces, because it would always make my brother and I excited. And you knew something special was happening if you were going to Mame's house, and you knew that usually family members were going to be over there, and it was going to be a good time for everybody. So I think those are my earliest memories of I don't know, smells come to mind, like the aroma of my grandmother's house. I don't know, you just knew something good was happening over there all the time. But from there, like I said, started in restaurants at 14. So 14 is a young age, and not sure if it was legal or not then. But I worked at a traditional German restaurant, and it was right down the road from my house. And just the sense of urgency and the fast-paced, demeanor of all the chefs and what was going on in the kitchen, and the planning for that night, and that night only. And when that night was over, everyone could take a deep breath and relax. I don't know, I liked that. I liked the adrenaline that gave me. So that sticks out in my mind as an early memory for me. And at that age, 14, I knew this is for me. This is what I want to do. So I'll probably go back and say, who is Chef Shane? Chef Shane also has a beautiful wife named Lisa and two wonderful children, Jackson, who's 7, my son, and then my daughter Olive, who's 4. So when I'm home, cooking is not so much for me as it is for them. My wife, she's very spoiled, and she gets whatever she wants, and that's really the deciding factor of what's getting cooked at the house. I try and come home, at a reasonable time, so I'm able to cook for the kids, and especially on weekends. Weekends are really big, and even growing up, it was always, there was always something going on. There was always a get-together of some sort, and, even in my 20s, and then, as I met my wife and got married and everything, our friends have a very tight group where someone's always cooking on the weekend. There's either a barbecue or crawfish boil, or there's a lot of fishing, so there's always fresh fish, and all of our friends always get together. So I want to make sure that my kids grow up knowing that's a good thing, and that's how it should be done. So when it comes to deciding what dishes, my wife decides. But still, we cook a lot of fresh fish at home. Every once in a while, she wants a big steak, a ribeye, or something like that. Lately, my kids have been getting way more interested. They smell the food cooking, and they, of course, are eating whatever I'm cooking for dinner. But lately, especially, my son, probably for the last 3 or 4 years, he always wants to know what's going on. What's that smell? What animal is that from? For me, that's awesome, because as a chef, I was really scared, right? You have kids and you're wondering are they going to be okay with eating, whatever, chicken or beef or pork? And I'm very thankful. So my son is he can look at a picture of a pig and say, oh, bacon comes there and sausage comes from there. So it's really great. And to have them in the kitchen is fun, because now we could do a lot of things like pasta, or they're able to help and do prep work and know that something that we've grown in the garden, it started out as a seed, and now you can see it grow into whatever it's going to be, whatever fruit or vegetable, tomato, zucchini or beans or whatever, and they get to pick that thing and then cook it with other ingredients, garlic or something that smells really nice. And so I know that that's having a great impact on them. So I love that part of my cooking career right now. At this stage of my career, I feel more artist. I also have a lot of the science piece and the math side of understanding. Like, when you're cooking on this scale for this many restaurants, you have to really be cognizant of the cost of the good and where it's coming from and what you can sell it for. And, having one restaurant is one thing, but having this many and making sure that all those things are in line all the way down, really to the last penny is super important. So, well, yes, the artist side is awesome, and I get to explore and create and build, but it's super important that I don't lose sight of, that science or that math side of it. And also, I owe everything that I get to do and the great fun life that I get to live to all the people who work in our restaurants. Everyone in First Watch, from all of our general managers to cooks to dishwashers to servers, they're the ones out here talking about my food or our food. Really is how I view it. It's food that we create together. We think about the things that our customers would want. We try and do the right thing by them and the right thing by all of our team members. The guests, when they come to First Watch, should expect a different breakfast experience. For many, many years, breakfast was kind of fast in diners and greasy spoon diners, and big, heavy, saucy, dishes and things like that were kind of the norm. And when First Watch started 35 years ago in Northern California, we set out to really serve fresh food using fresh ingredients. And we were able to do that because of where we were located. Northern California, obviously lots of really great produce and fruits, vegetables grown in that area of the country. And so we were able to truly utilize all those fresh ingredients. And now, as we've expanded, we've carried that through, and that's kind of part of our legacy. At our restaurant, we have no fryers, no microwaves, no heat lamps. And, every restaurant says, oh, it's all about fresh. It's all about fresh. We truly believe in that. And, we're getting fresh produce in every single restaurant 4 times a week. And we really do try and showcase the ingredient for what it is. We have obviously great regular breakfast dishes, right? You have pancakes and you have bacon and eggs and those sorts of things, but we do things a little differently, and we have maybe more of a healthy twist to our menu. So you can get things like avocado toast, or we have a really great fresh juice program where every single day we juice fresh in-house, every single First Watch. Apples, kale, Fuji apples, kale, English cucumbers, beets, turmeric, and then whatever's in season. So we've juiced, honestly, we've tried to juice everything. But the juices that work, pineapple or watermelon, strawberries, blueberries, we really pride ourselves in showcasing the fresh produce that's available to us. So I think when you talk about a guest coming to First Watch, what can they expect? It's truly a different dining experience, and really one that showcases fresh produce and fresh ingredients.
And what is your favorite one?
Oh, come on. Yeah, I know.
I know it's coming.
Everybody asks, right? Everybody wants to know. It's tough. And I won't say it's like choosing between my children, because I don't think it's like that. It's more of like, what's the weather like outside? What time of year is it? What kind of mood are you in? I feel like that I choose the dishes that I order based on those things, or what's exciting and new. We have a really great limited time offer seasonal feature program. So we change our seasonal features 5 times per year. So that's always showcasing whatever is in season from a produce or from a fruits and vegetables perspective. So there's always something like fun and new and exciting going on there. So I gravitate probably more towards those. But I know you want like a straight answer. The first dish that I ordered at First Watch and still on the menu is called avocado. And it's basically a bacon avocado cheese omelet. This is very, very simple. But again, it just like highlights, hey, we have really great bacon. We have beautiful fresh avocados. We use them, in many, many dishes here. And it's a simple one for me, but it's kind of like it goes back to just being, a simple, easy dish. And it's, nostalgic, I guess, for me. We set out on this journey maybe like 12 months ago and said, next year is going to be our 35th anniversary. I pushed for it. I really wanted to do it and to showcase, all the cool and fun things that we do at First Watch. And, obviously it was a long, long road to write a book and create. It's not so much that we created new recipes. It was really converting recipes that we use, on a commercial scale in our kitchens every single day, and rewriting them a little bit for the home cook, and making sure that someone anyone, someone like my mom can go and open the book and go make one of the dishes that she loves at first watch. So that was like the main goal for us. And I think it turned out absolutely beautiful, and we couldn't be more proud of it. You can get it in any first watch across the country. It's $23.95. It just, again, it's a sense of pride for us. And I think also, shows that we don't mind sharing our recipes, and we've taken that stance early on. If a customer asks about something or what's in something or how do I make this, we're happy to share that information, and we're not really, too secretive of that. We're not worried about people stealing it, because for First Watch, it's about the experience, the overall experience. It's not just, hey, this recipe is what makes us, and it's not just about me, chef made this. That's what the experience is about. It's about coming here and seeing all of our servers, seeing their smiling faces, having our managers taking care of you, and just knowing that you're going to get a consistent experience every single time you come. Yeah, so converting recipes from like doing them in a commercial kitchen or doing them on the scale that we're doing them. Of course, yes, we make huge batches, and then we have to make them small batches for the home cook. But also explaining things in a different way and changing the language a little bit, because there's language that we use in the kitchen. We call things differently, or processes that any cook knows, but maybe any home cook doesn't necessarily know. So there was a lot of going through each recipe and saying like, hey, does everyone in America know what this salt is? If not, like, let's take this opportunity to explain it and why we choose to use this, and that this salt is different than that one and different than this one down the road. So it was a lot of going back and really trying to, like, I don't want to say simplify everything, because it wasn't about simplifying. It was more of like making sure that we explained everything, so that when someone flips through that book, that they're not confused or intimidated. I have a huge collection of cookbooks, and my wife all the time, I'm like, just go pick a book and pick a recipe. I'll make whatever you want. And she's like, you go through them, some of them, and they're so intimidating. They're like written by chefs, but for chefs. And we wanted this one to be really written for our customers. And I think it turned out that way.